North. Welcome to it. It's, episode 149. Yeah. Okay. We're talking about 3 movies today. We're talking about the Gates of Hell trilogy. Thank you to Sam Edwards, who actually joined. He's been gone for a while. He joined just so we could put this into the bucket. Say, hey, I want to hear about this movie. Put it in. All right. And so we're going to do it today. But yeah, we're rushing around. It's all because of me. So I guess this would be our bullshit because we only have like a couple hours today instead of our usual couple hours plus. Because of me, full disclosure. So check it out. Okay. So last night I set up this handy dandy thing. Does this sound okay? Am I good?
You sound great.
Real good.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right.
Looks like you got a big cock coming at you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
there's the cover art for the show right there. That visual that we just saw.
I don't care. I'm just happy to be here now.
I'm just happy to be here.
It's like he's
getting
laid.
Happy if you were here an hour ago.
I know. Tease me all you want. Exactly. Holy shit. I'm so fucked up. Listen to this. So last night, we're talking last week or the week before about mic stands, and I'm thinking, holy shit, I've been in this room all this time. And before, I think I explained it. I couldn't fit the thing. It wouldn't fit in the thing, the part that you screw on the bottom in the other room. But since I've been in this room, it never once occurred to me that I could just put it on this table. This is how dumb I am. I'm like, wait a minute. This is a regular table now, like a desk. I could try it in here. So last night, I get the idea. I'm like, I'm going to do this. I got an hour or so to kill. I go digging in this. I had this little thing underneath my stairs, like a cubby hole type thing. It's not
Peephole?
that big, but there's stuff in it. Yeah, a peephole, whatever the fuck it is.
Peephole, people under the stairs, not peephole under the stairs.
That's our movie, Peephole Under the Stairs. Oh my God, it's a glory hole!
Wow, peephole under the stairs. Whew. Oh boy. So last night I go looking for this thing.
That big black cock came at you.
That's right there. I used to have this stand and I put it in the back. I was mad. I knew I could never use it. I put it in the fucking that cubby hole. I don't know where it is. So now I'm like, I know it's there somewhere. Right? So I go in there last night. I rummage around for about fucking 20 minutes. I finally find the thing. I bring it out. Now there's this little tiny thing which I'm sure C may be familiar with. It's a screw that goes into the top that actually screws into the back of your mic. It's a little tiny piece about that big. It's a screw here. It's the bottom part is the screw-in part. The top part is the thicker metal. And you hang it and you put. Well, I cannot find this fucking piece anywhere. I'm on my hands and knees in there. I'm sore as a fucking whore because it's so small. In this section I'm looking in, I cannot find this because it's so small. Yeah, and it's not really that small, but the part that this stuff was in is the smaller part. So it slopes. It starts up high and it gets lower and lower because it's the stairwell. So. I cannot find the fucking thing. I'm going crazy. So now I have to give myself props just for the moment because I'm sure by the end of this episode it'll fucking collapse. But I couldn't find that piece. I was going crazy. I could not find the piece. So I took my old mic and this thing here, the fucking, that thing. Whatever
pop filter?
It's called. The pop filter, thank you.
Your sock?
Up. I'm gone, dude. Okay, so my old pop filter had this thing here. And what I did was, bottom line is this. I took the old clamp for my old pop filter, and I used that as I jimmied away. I took this thing, and I screwed it here, and there's a screw thing on top that the pop filter, the other end, screws into. I actually have my mic, which has 2 little screw holes, one on each side, balancing on one of those screw holes that I screwed in, hanging on this fucking thing right here, and then I jimmied the other pop filter over here to go on this little clamp and put this here. So I fucking MacGyver this thing together somehow.
Tier 1 show.
I give it 20 minutes before this thing collapses on him. Before one of the cats walks by and collapses this thing onto him.
This is what you guys are paying for. Fucking guy. It's like duct taped to his fucking stand.
But it's here. I'm professional
it's
now.
Crazy.
I got it. It's up close, right?
I honestly think that Watson just wanted to see how fucking long you'd be talking into a cat box. Hey, I'm going to suggest that Dave put his microphone into a box, and let's see if this prick does it. And he did for 3 years.
You might have.
The joke is on you, Watson. The jig is up. Sorry. There's more. There's more to this fascinating story.
Well, here we are. There's lots more. I mean, so I go to bed last night. I'm feeling fine. You know, yesterday I had some pizza. I had some dried mangoes. Before bed, I had something else. I don't know what the fuck happened. And I had a couple combos. But bottom line is this: I went to bed. My wife is working. She's getting out at noon, so I might be wrenching her because I left the toilet paper fucking thing empty. But I ran out of time and ran down here because I got the message from you guys. So
you left her the roll though, right?
Just the roll
as long as she can mud flap it.
She could mud flap.
She could be using the handle.
Yes, she could in case I forgot. But she gets out at noon. We're finishing at noon, so I'll beat her to the punch. We're okay. But boom, maybe she gets out early. Who knows? But anyway, I go to bed last night. You know, I set my alarm for 9:55. Pardon me, for 8:55. And I'll tell you why. Which means I wake up at 9 because I'm recording at 10. This is what's going on in my fucking head. Okay. So now, when I did the summer series last week and the fucking week before, it was a 10 o'clock start. So for whatever reason, because I did that twice in the last fucking 3 weeks, it was in my head to set my clock for 8:55 instead of what would normally be 7:50. So up until 10 minutes ago, I'm legitimately thinking, because my mind's so fucked up, that we're recording at 10, which makes zero sense. It's always 9, and it's always off at noon, whatever the fuck it. I don't know what happened. Now, I go to bed last night. About a couple hours in, I'm waking up. I must have blown about fucking 500 farts overnight. I never farted so much in fucking one session in my life. Luckily, my wife wasn't there. She went, you know, I'm getting up. I'm turning on this side. I'm turning on the other side to make more come out. This all night long. This is going. Finally,
touch off it in her wife. Honey, check this one out. Sorry.
I'm up in the middle. I'm fucked up. She's not there. I'm in there. I'm running to the bathroom. I got problems in my stomach. You know, I got runs going on. What the fuck is going on here? So I wake up this morning, and I think it's like, you know, time to record. I look at I should have got up in retrospect. I look at it, it's at 7 o'clock. I'm like, oh, way too early. I'm going to go back to bed. Go to the bathroom again. I finally get back to bed. Then, you know, my alarm goes off today. I get up, I go to the bathroom again. I don't know what the fuck poisoned me. It might have been those dried mangoes.
Hell yeah, you caught a case of mango madness.
I'm fucked up though. But
dried fruit does that to you, man. Dried fruit especially.
It's never happened before. But my wife said once it made her sick. We've only had these mangoes in our household for about, I don't know, 3 months now, on and off. She gets them from.
I'm sure they're delicious, but they go right through you.
And I've never had a problem, but she said that they made her sick once, and I didn't think much of it. And I had them, I go, I'm fine, whatever. But this has to be what happened.
Was it the same batch? She's like, this is the batch that made me
try it again.
Good for you.
I just tested it again today to see if it's for sure. Just have a few of the dried mangoes and just see what happens. This is the best part, though. The messages. So this started at 9:04. We're already, Brayden and I've already been on for 15 minutes just waiting for Dave and whatever. And it's like 9:04. Dave, my stomach is all fucked up, so I'm just hoping to make it in on time. Laugh out loud. Brandon, you want to reschedule? No, man, I'm fine. Just have to run to the bathroom a bit. Okay, so we figured another 5 minutes. I even stayed up late last night to fix my mic stand finally. And I'm at like 9:30. Brandon's like, you okay? C and I are worried. Mud flap it and hop on. And then Dave's like, I'm always okay. So then we're like, Brandon and I were looking at each other. They're like, "What the fuck's going on?" So
I suggested you had a stroke at that point because when you said I'm always okay, I'm like, "Is there something wrong with Dave? Like, I'm worried about him."
I go, but it's 9:30. You want to record later? And then Brandon goes, "C and I already reviewed 2 movies already." Dave's like, "I'm fine." He responds, "I'm fine." We're like, now we're like going insane. Dave's like, "Is he insane?" And Brandon's like, "Is he insane?" And then, oh shit, I thought we were going on a 10. I'll be right there. Finally, Dave clicks in that he fucked up.
You know what? In all that, our mistake also was not telling him that we record at 9. We probably should have said, "Hey, Dave, you know we record at 9." I just thought you weren't feeling good. Your stomach was bothering you, so you needed an extra half hour.
Sorry, I just fucked up my mic. Bear with me 1 sec.
Oh, your mic's fucked now. There you go.
No, I hit something and now it might be too loud. Louder than normal.
Oh, dude, and I'm all casual. I get out of the shower. I was drying. I was getting out of the shower. I look and I see that bee had the fucking thing on. I look at it. I said, I'm always fine. I'm fine. Don't worry. I'm thinking I'll be there at 10 like always. This is what I'm thinking in my head. Don't worry about it. What are you so fucking... I'm okay.
We can tell.
I was going to come here and give a whole fucking speech about how I never missed a recording. Nothing's ever fucked me up. No matter what goes on, I'm always there. I've never once called into my fucking work sick at work. And all this is true, and I can't say shit because I'm a fucking complete idiot. So what good is it? I'm here fucking, what time is it?
Steve and I decided this is going to be our last show because of what happened.
Yeah.
Just like the time when C had to reschedule and Dave was like, maybe we should shut down production. What? You can't make it this week? That's it. Let's just.
That was 2 years ago in July. I think that was 2019 in July. That's hilarious. That always seems to pop up at the anniversary time frame.
I'm going to see if today's not the day to do it. I'll have it for next week's show. I'll see if I can find it. I'll search our old messages. Because next week's the blow-off show. We can do what we want. We'll do fucking shit like that. Oh, so anyway, I'm very sorry, guys. Oh, my God. I'm still sweating. I couldn't get my coffee. I didn't finish drying my hair. I'm wearing the clothes I had on from yesterday. No underwear, nothing. As soon as I saw that it was fucking time.
No
Commando.
Underwear. And you've been shitting like crazy? Oh, my God. You might leave a little dookie mark on the couch.
It's okay. I mean, it's laundry day.
Dookie.
No, not on the couch. No, I'm fine. I'm good, man. I was literally getting there. I was drying my hair. I had a towel wrapped around me. I didn't have nothing on yet. I was getting ready to fucking be cleaned and fucking, get my coffee. I got no coffee now. No time to heat it up.
Oh, I had 2 cups. I'm picture perfect.
I would be.
I've had a seltzer and some water to wet my whistle. I haven't done that in a while. I haven't wet my whistle on air.
Yeah, there's some things I gotta maybe make a list of the things. I could save this for next show then, because there's I got a message from Mitchell Johnson that I meant to bring up last episode, and we didn't.
That?
But Mitchell, who joined us on the show,
I'm just teasing those.
Mitchell. The way you said it was
Mitchell Johnson.
So, but I'll say.
I guess I'll say by Mr. Freeze and Mitchell Johnson. That's just the way.
That's it. I'll save it for next show now. I mean, it's driving me crazy. It was just a follow-up, but I got to remember. I got to write this stuff down, what we're doing on the blow-off show.
I got lots of notes already. Now it's even more. Now it's even more shit because all the stuff we were going to get into today that we now can't because of me, because we got to get right into the meat and potatoes here, then it'll have to be next show. There are a lot of things, though. I'll tell you that. I have notes for this, and I'll even tell you some of my notes right now. I'll give you that, just so I can say I said something about it. Let's see. 150. Did C take the test? Kilometers, Halloween fanboys, top 100, trailers. Those are my notes for next show.
Well, I got to know what test. Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Maybe I'll prep you because you probably didn't know.
You want to take it easy there?
Yeah.
Back up a little bit.
You might want to move Lexington Steel back like a couple of.
Maybe I will. Or I'll lower them or something. I don't know.
Fucking the peephole under the stairs just got real.
What's in here?
No, I got. Oh, fuck, I'm still sweaty. I don't know if I'm sweating or wet from the shower still. I don't know what the fuck I am.
It's a combo.
It might be. Don't even talk about combos. That might have got me sick. Holy fuck. Whew.
So, pizza, combos, and dried mango?
Trouble.
That's a recipe for the runs.
See, I'm all fucked up. I just hope I can maintain here. But anyway, the test was this, see. I said the last show. You got to buy a bag. You got to buy a bag. Yeah.
He knows where it's going. He knows.
Yeah.
Look how angry he is.
I'm not angry. I just want him to spit it out.
Yeah, you got to buy a bag milk. How else can you say that? You got to say it that way. It sounds stupid. I'm going to go buy a bag of bagged milk. How else can you say that? Right?
Just go buy a bag of milk.
Yeah.
A bag of milk. Okay, go buy a bag of milk, thank you, and buy a regular carton of milk, all right? Crack them both open the same day, drink them. 2 days later, do a taste test and see if the one from the bag or the one from the carton tastes different. Is the one from the carton fresh and the bag?
They taste the same. It tastes the same. Heather's educated you guys on this whole.
No, she didn't get that part.
I was just teasing. I had no idea that this was going to take traction for
Either.
the next 6 months. Of
and I don't want it to. All I want is a simple taste test from C to do them both.
And I can tell you right now, C is definitely not doing this test.
I told you last episode, I've done the test for the last 47 years. No. It's done.
It's a bag of milk and a carton on the same fucking
47 years of research. That's it.
There's no way you did that. There's no way you opened them both.
There's more research. There's more research in this bagged milk study than there's in cancer.
I can't believe you. There's no way that you bought them both the same day. Why would you buy a bag and a carton the same day and open them on the same day? That makes no sense at all. There's no way you did that.
You guys have the best before date on them? That tells you when it's ready to go. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Bag, carton, it doesn't matter. It tastes the same. It tastes the same. I don't know what to tell you.
The thing is this.
It tastes the same.
I feel like I'm talking to Johnny Newpants. Let me say it slowly so that Johnny Newpants gets it. It tastes the same. Johnny Newpants.
Johnny Newpants. I like that. Johnny Newpants.
Johnny.
I've been calling that for a long time, but it's so funny.
Yeah.
That's great.
Let me spell it out to you,
seems
VHS.
to me, from what we saw, and we talked about it last show, that it looks like it would spoil quicker because there's not enough coverage. And the carton looks like, to me and to B, that it would do it better. So I just want to know, for the sake of argument, if it lasts longer that way. That's all.
Yeah.
That's it. It's not even a joke.
I'm not even making... you did the test.
No, I want a true answer. I want him to buy them both. I'll even take a taste test. Give me 2 things to fucking taste. I love taking blind taste tests. Love it. Oh, I love it.
Oh, this was semen.
I'm blind. Oh.
Delish.
It's so viscous.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's so.
I love going into.
It's so chewy.
I forgot my wife has a friend over. They're trying to book something upstairs, and the stuff is that they don't hear your side of the conversation. They just hear the random shit that I say on this side. You know,
so they hear peepholes, semen. They
Lexington
hear you
Steel.
Refer to your wife as your mother.
Yeah. I was before we recorded.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Twice.
Twice.
Mamma mia.
Okay,
well, maybe we should get into these movies. And sorry you don't have a regular intro, everybody. Maybe if we have time at the end, we'll bullshit some more. But don't worry, next
we'll
show
definitely be able to bullshit some more. This movie here, all 3 movies are the same. All 3 movies get some similar rating. We move on.
Yeah, let's just give ratings.
Yeah.
Hey, Dave, you're 3 hours late to the show. You okay? I'm fine. I'm always fine.
You know me. Easy going, Dave. Do you mind getting your easy going ass on the...
We always record at a time that we've never recorded at before.
Oh, my God.
I was genuinely concerned. I thought 2 things. I thought either you had a stroke or I thought it wasn't you.
Wow.
I was like,
I didn't put any thought into it, to be honest. I was living through Brandon. Brandon's like, I guess maybe I should be concerned. It says a lot about my personality. I'm like, my God, like maybe I'm the narcissist. I thought that Dave was.
I was worried when he said I'm fine, and then he started writing like, "Shut up, the cat." Some things came out weird on here. I forgot what it was. Yeah, I gotta bring that up. Let me see. What did he say? Oh, I said, "Oh shit! I thought we were gonna go on at 10. Be right there." Okay, so he realized. Then he's like, "Son of a gun! Shut up! Sorry, that we to the cat." I think he meant to say that was to the cat. I guess he was yelling, "Shut up" to the cat. Why was he? If you're yelling at the cat, why are you typing it out?
Because it was on voice. So I was trying to talk. Okay. I was rushing. There's no talking.
I forgot about the. I never used the voice, and that's why it didn't dawn on me. Okay, I'm like.
Man. I was running down the stairs.
I thought you were there like, "Shut up, Lucky! Be quiet, Lucky!"
No. See, Lucky was up my ass as usual because he couldn't help it. You know, he sees me, he's following, getting in my way, wants me to do this, wants me to do that. And I said, "Son of a gun, shut up!" I told him. You know.
Oh, I thought you finally punted him through the fucking window and out the door. There.
Oh.
Consider yourself rescued. How much time do you have to put into it? You rescue them, then you let them go and live free.
Hey, do you have any of these Italian posters? I want some of these posters in their original Italian, like.
I thought the same thing yesterday. They are so cool.
They're so cool. They're so cool.
I do not like the Beyond one that they use. The one with the girl that looks like it's a porn movie. The girl in red. Like that. The Beyond. I hate that poster. Oh, I hate it. Yeah.
I'm looking at City of the Living Dead with the bleeding eyes, but I don't know why. Just because it's in Italian, I don't understand any of it. It just looks cool.
Because by this poster, you mark in Italian.
I'll ask Christian. Should we start with City of the Living Dead, or you want to go right to Bob?
Oh, we can do whatever. Whatever one you guys pick. I got the same review and rating for all.
No, don't you?
I really hope there's positives here because I really enjoyed this.
Positives. Why wouldn't there be positives?
I don't know. I never can get a feel for C. And I know like this trilogy isn't known for like having the most concise plot.
I have no problems now. There was once a time I did not understand. Actually, we'll get to it when we get to it.
All right, let me just.
Let's go in order.
Well, of course. City of the Living Dead from 1980, written and directed by Fulci. A reporter and a psychic race to close the gates of hell. The gates of hell. After the suicide of a clergyman caused them to open, allowing the dead to rise from their graves.
Okay. I'll say this.
Yeah.
This movie, matter of fact, all three of these movies are my favorite Fulci. And I wasn't able to say that until yesterday, because I watched all three yesterday. In order, the whole thing, you know what I mean? And I got to say that they're definitely my favorite Fulci. Maybe I haven't seen, actually not maybe, there's no doubt about it, I haven't seen all of his work, but I've seen them. I prefer them to New York Ripper, and I prefer them to Zombie. Zombie always loses me in the second act. I always get a little bored. And New York Ripper's fine. I enjoy it. I think that maybe I'm just more into this type of movie or something. And what other greats does he have that are like, well...
The only other one I could think of that is up there for me is Don't Torture a Duckling.
Which I have also seen.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I can say without a shadow of a doubt that this is my favorite work of Fulci's.
I think I agree with you. I think I agreed. I watched these twice in the last week. I watched them last week because I thought we were going to record July 4th, but we didn't. And then I just rewatched them again this week to refresh. And I gotta say, man, the one thing about it, even as a trilogy, even as 3 films, they just move. They're in and out.
Oh, yeah, they're not. The one thing about the sort of surreal nature of all 3 of them is that it always keeps you entertained. Yeah. Again, if I come across as negative, there's no negative here. It's just there's a style that he uses that is throughout all 3 of these, and I would agree with what Dave said earlier that I'd put New York Ripper and Zombie, and I guess Don't Torture. Those ones would encompass, I think, the ones that I like of Fulci. There's probably more out there. I know I've seen more. I've mentioned Cat in the Brain before in the past, and I actually liked that, and people were like, really? Then I rewatched it, and I'm like, what was I thinking? But at the time, I really liked it. The self-referential kind of take and the again, it was brutal, and I like the fact that he doesn't shy away from the gore. So like that's why I feel like you could
this gore in this trilogy is top notch. And I'll say the gore in City of the Living Dead is actually like gross out gore, like ew, nasty great. Gore. The others aren't as nasty, but they're still like super awesome.
He seems like he was the one doing this at the time, whereas now you'll get these a dime a dozen, if you will. Like the lower budgeted ones kind of go for this or whatever. And this is what he was the pioneer of. Argento had more of the artistic style kills, where it was like a set piece that was great. This one is a set piece in like you knew, oh my god, that drill scene through the head, that was Gates of Hell, because I saw this as Gates of Hell way back when, and not a City of the Living Dead until. I don't know.
I even find charm
20 years ago.
I even find charm when you could tell like the bodies are like fake. Like when you could tell they're used. Like I like that.
Which you'll find a lot in these movies.
I like that. Like that. It works for these because I'd rather see that oozing of blood coming out rather than a quick cutaway. Give me this any day. Linger on a fake Manicarino any day over a quick cutaway.
Like there's absurdness here in all three of these movies, but again, if you don't feel like you're watching them, you got to watch them again with that surrealistic kind of overtone, or you're not going to enjoy these movies.
Well, that's literally how they, like, even film critics and he would describe them, is that these are just like nightmare fever dreams, all three films, and they capture that atmosphere perfectly. I think that's everything. The word. I think everything makes sense here. I think maybe he has so many things going on with different characters and stuff that's not, I don't want to say underdeveloped, just it leaves maybe some stuff unanswered where you're like, you could fill in those blanks yourself, or you could just choose to ignore it. But I think one of these movies, if not all of them, would be primed for a remake. I think you get the guy who did Suspiria, and you have him tackle one of these Fulci films. Maybe just encompass all three in one film, and deal more with the mythology behind, like, the book, whether you're using the Book of Enoch from this one or the Book of Avon from the other, and you get more into that and what it all means and stuff like that.
Well,
that is a good idea.
This was my favorite. This was my favorite out of the three, actually.
This is always my favorite. Now I don't know. I actually don't have ratings yet, but this used to be my favorite of the three. But rewatching them all, they were all so close that I honestly can't tell you right at this moment.
And that's exactly it. They are all so close in their ratings but I still think I give the edge to this one. I like the ensemble cast here. The craziness. The one thing that's weird, even within a fever's dream, even with surreal. You guys explain it to me. Other than it's supernatural, but again, it still takes a big leap of faith to is the girl that dies, who then awakes in her coffin. Great, scary, but there is a process after death that you go through that you don't just wake up suddenly, oh, we made a mistake, we buried her, then suddenly she comes back to life. No, there's a process of actually.
Well, I was reading about, because I don't know this. If anybody would, I'm sure it'd be Derek or Moods or even Sam, because he's an encyclopedia of knowledge as well. But the missing reel, that the original ending that got ruined, that's why it ends the way it does. I think I read somewhere that it might have been, what's her name in this? Mary, Katrina McCall. I have to look up her character's name because she's obviously in all three of them.
Yeah, she's
Mary. Yeah,
Fulci are the links to the trilogy.
She's Mary Wood.
Great,
yeah, she's great in all three of them. I just wanted to make sure I had the right name because I know there's Mary, Lucy, and Liza. So in this one, she's Mary. But I read that one of the potential endings,
Lucy,
I don't know
and
if
Liza.
they filmed this, was that Mary returns to her grave or dies at the end after emerging from the tomb. That was written in the book that she returned from the dead to close the gates, and then her job is complete and dies, which would have been a cool ending. I'm fine with the ending they have here. To me, it's very simple. To me, it's very simple to explain. Yeah.
I don't understand the very end. That's what I was gonna say. That's my note on the final frame. By the way, I like the name in this one, Mary Woodhouse, because it's like it's Rosemary Woodhouse, you know, fucking Rosemary's Baby. So I thought right away I caught that. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. But like, my notes are this, and I have a couple comparisons. I was gonna say that he does take things from Argento that I noticed. One thing says this: very Suspiria-like ending. There's that ending when all of a sudden it happens and there's fire and this and that. It's just like the end of Suspiria, except, you know, they don't jump out the window and it says you have been watching Suspiria. But it's similar where they all of a sudden find a real easy way to kill the freaking protagonist. They just take the thing, they stab it, and it ends. Very much like Suspiria. So that was my note there. But then after that, there's a little tiny epilogue thing, and I said, and my note says, so what happened? Because I don't get it. They're running, and all of a sudden they're screaming, and it just ends. What are we to believe here?
Here's what I believe. Real simple. They had to close the gate before All Saints' Day. When they arrive at the cemetery, she looks up in the sky and says it's All Saints' Day. Yeah, they fell behind schedule. They didn't do it in time. So that was all, like, for nothing. The stabbing of the priest, it was cool. That set piece in the tomb is amazing. The lighting with the blue and all that looks awesome.
Yeah.
But when they emerge, to me, they see the kid running towards them. The background gets blurry. To me, I think they see the dead coming towards them. Maybe the cops are zombies. Maybe the kid starts to like look menacing as he gets closer. We don't see him. Obviously, we see him just happy, yelling Mary. But to me, they failed.
And did you know? I don't know if you read this, but the Bob that's in this movie, that after he dies, he transcends into the Bob that's in House by the Cemetery. There's like, I can't believe that they had Bob as a Bob. He's not as memorable this Bob, but goddamn, that death is great. The drill to the head, that's great. The barfing up the intestine scene is sickeningly great. But the bleeding from the eyes, like Brandon mentioned.
And the guy in that one, Tommy, was Suave, Mikhail Suave.
I was going to ask who Suave was, which character.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was the other one in the truck.
This one is the scariest one to me. Scary is relative. Everybody's that, but this one felt like it had scares. They all look great. I don't know if it was I only assume it was the same cinematographer, but I don't know for sure. I didn't check it in the credits. I didn't look at IMDb, but they all looked great. And there's a mood and atmosphere that help elevate these movies above and beyond. So whether
they all have great scores, and this one's, I think, the best score.
It is my favorite of the three, too.
Yeah, this one's my favorite, too.
It's very much like Dawn of the Dead. That's what it kept taking me back to. It was very Dawn of the Dead-ish, you know.
Yeah,
but
Christopher George is in
Goblin?
this.
Christopher George.
Isn't that his name, Christopher? He's in this one, and I like him. I like him as well.
I think they used the squeezing of the brain kill too much, though.
That's my note. 3 times.
Three times. They didn't need to, because they squeeze and you see those little like testy brains fall out. They look like little testicles of brain that pop out the back. But it's a cool kill. But I mean, man, oh my god, such great gore. I think to me, like, if you remake it today, you explore more of obviously this is built on the old remnants of Salem, this Dunwich. You elaborate more on Salem, the witch burners. Obviously, these people are descendants of the witch burners, and that's why the dead's coming back and killing them. You explore more on Father Thomas. Like, why did he commit suicide? Was he aware that by committing suicide, committing this ultimate sin, he was opening the gates of hell? Or was that just a consequence of his action? Or was he trying to?
Yeah, weird. You're right.
That's, I mean, it's stuff you don't need. I still love the movie, but that's stuff like, I could see like what they did with the new Suspiria, like just dove more into story rather than style. And you'd still have both, obviously, but
well, again, it's a certain type of fan that likes these movies. They weren't well received. They're not critic favorites by any means, except horror critics or horror fans. And again, we all know horror fans are a wacky bunch too. So, I mean, it's relative on.
Yeah, it's kind of sad because, he didn't, like, honestly, like, if he was alive today, he'd be receiving much more acclaim than he ever thought he would, Fulci, because he didn't, I don't think he got it.
Fabio Frizzi is the composer, Dave, because I cut you off there.
Well.
We went off and, so that would explain, So, the, Argento, Fulci, I heard, didn't make, you'd figure he would have been rich or somewhat rich based on all the movies he has done. And I don't think that was the case. I think, in fact, he was paid like scale or something like that or less for these films.
He died broke. Argento paid for his funeral.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, and they say, it's not confirmed or anything, but he was a diabetic and that he died of complications due to diabetes, and they say he might have stopped taking his medication because he was living in like a very small apartment, was basically like almost destitute.
It's crazy.
Like it's really sad actually, because now like if he was around today to see like the way his films are received, and I mean,
right.
Yeah, because I don't think he got the respect then, is where I was going with it, with the critic factor. We understand, we take critics with a grain of salt, but I'm just saying, at the time, that's got to be hard. But he kept making fucking movies, which is great.
Yeah,
and whether, I mean, we talked about some of his non-horror in an earlier episode.
Right.
But I'd much rather, they were good, but I'd much rather talk about these ones. And
definitely.
Yeah, it's just that I like the look, the atmosphere, the lighting. That is what wins, and the gore, of course. That's what wins me over. The acting, whether it be the dubbed or whatever, is not 100% great. The storytelling is very lucid, which is part of its charm, but also could be a critique for some people, I guess, as well. But
I have a little critique about Jerry's character. Like, he seems a little bit too old to be dating a 19-year-old girl, and then when Emily dies, he does not seem very upset about it. In fact, he doesn't cry when Emily dies, but he cries when Sandra's dead.
Maybe he really had the hots for the other girl then. I don't know. That's weird though. That's like a director's choice apparently. Why would that happen? Or a writer's choice?
It's a real
choice,
Sophie's choice.
Yeah.
What
As
about
far
the
as
three
the
guys?
age,
Sorry,
that don't mean nothing. No, I'm saying as far as age, that doesn't mean nothing. I don't care.
especially in Italy.
What's your rule? Oh, especially in Italy, that's fine. But I mean, so if you're 19, if a 19-year-old girl, how old should she date? What do you think is the correct parameters here?
Well, now I'm going to say 41 since I'm 41.
Okay. That's fair enough.
You know what it is? No, it's fine. It's just that Jerry looks older. He's probably younger than me in this movie.
Okay.
But, doesn't he look like he looks like he could be 45 and he's dating like a 18, 19-year-old? It's like, it looked just odd. It looked like she should have been dating Bob because she goes to see about Bob. And I was like, what about Bob?
Yeah, I knew it was coming. What a reaction for the father to have, though.
See, that's another thing. It's like you get it, and then you could honestly tell like the story, like whatever happened with Anne, with his little innocent girl was clearly her doing. She's not the innocent one. 'Cause she's like, oh, stay, smoke a joint with me. No.
Another Anne. How about that? There's an Anne in this one. Anne House by the Cemetery. There's 2 Emilys. There's 2 fucking Bobs. Wow. That's some shit. I mean, it might have been done on purpose.
What was the little kid's name in this?
Oh, buddy, you're asking the wrong guy. I don't know. The little kid? Let me think about
I've
this.
been calling Fulci Argento all show. I don't know. I'm going to remember.
Was he Bob?
No.
No.
What was his name?
What is his name? Peter?
John.
Oh, how could you forget a name like that? John.
Well, you
Right.
did. How could you forget what you did?
I know. That's fucked up.
That's exactly
of
what
course
happened.
I forgot.
I knew the first part of his name. I knew it was John. I couldn't remember the second part.
What about the bartenders? Like, it's such a weird sub story or whatever like that about them and the crack in the wall and how dismissive he is. Like, the guy's building. Oh, these buildings they haven't built on. He's like, I'm like, what? I'd be getting the hell out of this building. He's like, they're not made like they used to.
Hey, it was the same thing with the cop at the beginning when he's like, "Where's the grass? You smoking grass? You must be smoking grass. Where's the stash? Did you flush it down the toilet?"
Yeah, that's it. That's what I wrote down. I wrote down both of those things.
Yeah, then the fireball, and then there's a screaming fireball that goes, "Oh!"
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey, boss, check this out. And then it's like, check what out?
Wow.
There's a lot of the effects are fantastic when it's like we're going to just do the reverse and the forward, or when we're just going to cut the camera and someone's disappeared, which was the priest in a lot of the scenes. But it works. It somehow works again because of the atmosphere and the mood, just the style that he's created here and uses. I mean, he's not the only director to have done this, but Fulci loves doing that zoom in, not Sam Raimi style, but it's like he'll be over there and it'll zoom into something, and it's in all these films. It was in the movies that we watched that were his non-horror films, so it's kind of like his stamp. I don't know if it's like it was an Italian thing or whatnot. It's not something you normally see in North American cinema, though. And it was distinctively, I find that he does it. Argento does not.
Fulci's got a thing with the eyes. Got a thing.
Oh,
with the
yeah,
eyes.
a lot of eye trauma, of course.
A lot of eye, a lot of, I guess, underlying statements on us being blind to what's going on in front of us. Because these are supernatural films where, up until the last second, everybody is trying to come up with a rational explanation for it, and that's ultimately their downfall. Everyone's like, no, I refuse to believe,
Yeah, it's
this or
typical
that.
shit.
Yeah.
Right. That's the way it is. It's always that way, man. So it's kind of cool, though. Let's see.
I'm just saying, if you're in the union, are you really going to leave a body not buried because 5 o'clock rolled around? We put in a long day. We'll take care of this one. She's not going anywhere, and we'll take care of this one tomorrow.
I think the union thing was a joke.
Yeah,
I felt like that was like he just.
That's what I
thought.
thought.
Union rules. They were just lazy.
Yeah, well, that's it. I know they were lazy, but I just feel like man, you have to finish your job. But it's as dumb as I was saying it is earlier with Brandon, your explanation. Again, we're in a surreal film here, and it's a really effective scene of her waking up, realizing that she's in a tomb, and when he takes that fucking pickaxe and pries her out of it, it's really well done.
Yeah, close to the eyes, much like in House by the Cemetery with Bob, with the axe to the door. It just happens all throughout these movies where everything is getting close to the eyes.
Some deaths in these films, and again, they bleed together for me a little bit, no pun intended, but some of the deaths in these films are quick kills that are effective, and some of them are the lingering deaths, which are almost agonizing to watch because it's just like you're just hearing scream after scream after. In this one, the drill comes into mind, and I think we'll get to House by the Cemetery, but there's another one that is just lingering, and it's like you're almost like you want it almost to cut away, but boy, is it fucking cool that it doesn't.
You get the full drill in and out.
Yeah,
it's awesome. That's how it should be. If you're gonna do it, that's the way. I had to call Frankie down. I said, "Look, you got to see this," and of course she loved it. You know, that stuff's great. It's kind of cool though. This is a Halloween movie, but it's nobody talks about it. They don't play it up, but that's what it is. The what takes place in this movie is on Halloween night. All Saints Day is November 1st. So they had to get it done Halloween by midnight, but nobody ever thinks about it when they say, what's a Halloween horror movie or that takes place on Halloween? Very few times someone's going to say City of the Living Dead, but it's true.
I like it better than Halloween because you don't have Jamie Lee Curtis running around in this one.
As much as I like this girl, I got to go with Jamie
She's
Lee Curtis.
Renee Zellweger.
That was a good character, man.
One of the best.
Yeah, she's great. And this girl's really good, too. And it's so weird. Here's what's weird. I've seen these movies probably, I don't know, 10, 12 times each, you know. I've never watched them in close proximity this way, or especially in order on the same day like I did yesterday. None of that. And I never made the connection that the same girl, what's her name? McCall? Or not McCall, pardon me. What is her name?
McCall.
Yeah, is in all three movies. And all the times I watched them, I never made that connection.
Oh, because you watch them back to back. Yeah.
Dave Z-ism.
She looks exactly the same.
Right, of course. I know it is. I'm stupid.
You can pick up on the most, minute detail that nobody has ever discovered and then miss the obvious that it was the same actor starring it.
And do you know, he wanted her to be in New York Ripper as well as to be the lead in that one too. Yeah. And I guess she looked at the script and decided against it. She said she was unsure about it or something, or I don't know. It's too bad. I would like to see her in that kind of role too, a little sleazier. You know, it would have been because look, she's really good, but she does different. In this movie, she's a believer. You know what I mean? She's doing her thing at the seance and this and that, and she's that way. The second role, she is coming to.
When I saw her face, now I'm a believer.
Well, she's into the. In the third one, she's a married woman. The second one, she's a single woman coming to start over and to start anew and open up a business. You know, I like the fact that, she plays three different roles. And it's, and I think I'm most sympathetic with House by the Cemetery, actually. But because they start an angle and then drop it, but we'll get to it when we get to it. Yeah. Either way.
Well, speaking of face, that scene always makes me laugh. When the priest just takes that fucking muddy, wormy mess and just smushes it in. It's like
that was good.
They do the squishing of the worms so much in this. Even when the little worms fly into the room when they're meeting at the end. Oh my god! And then you hear the silence and you just hear the squishing of. Oh my god! It's so disgusting.
Oh, the blasting maggots? They call them worms, but they're obviously maggots.
Yeah, those are maggots. But
they even say the word though.
And they just, I love how they're just like dusting it off, like it's like just like some leaves. Like you good? You good? Yeah, let's go. I'm like, you just got hit with maggots.
And they're standing in a room full of thousands of them. They don't even go outside to clean themselves off. It's so gross. And
Italians love maggots in horror.
And also the scene when John calls and they go to the house because Emily killed the parents, and milk mixing with blood. I don't know if that was bagged milk or not, but the milk mixing with the blood, nasty as hell. And then you see the ceiling bleeding, and the ceiling. What the hell was going on? The ceiling looks gross. I'm like, what the fuck is it's so effective because it's actually like nauseating gore effects in this one. Even the beginning when Bob finds the doll with the worms on and like it looks like intestines or whatever, just like pink innards just hanging all over. Like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, man, it is gross. You're right. It's in a great way though. I mean,
absolutely, yeah, super effective.
Yeah, you know what? I gotta give this movie props for actually using a real phone number in the fucking movie. They said something about maybe it wasn't very loud, but I had. Yeah, not that one either. No, like 865-3246. Something comes up and there's a phone number. Never in a movie. It's always
That's Jenny's number?
Bullshit. Right. No, it's Bob's number. Bob from the first one was trying to call Bob from the third one.
Bobby, I got your number. 8654801. Oh wow, I just gave my phone number. Shit, I'm singing my phone number.
Give him a call, everybody. Give him a call. Leave him a message.
That guy in the bar, I want to give a little more attention because the stuff that happens in the bar is fucking great. In the beginning, it's funny to me that he's more bugged out about these two guys staying for a beer than his building coming down. You know, they're like, oh, come on, stay for that beer. You're not gonna stay. He should be paranoid. His fucking business is gonna crumble. Instead, he's giving away beer. What the fuck? And then later on, they're having the conversation, and the guy says, like, oh, this is gone. He goes, well, I'm vamoosing. He says,
yeah, I'm taking my money and vamoosing till the morning.
Vamoosing. It reminds me of C for some reason. Vamoosing.
Reminds me of C. Why? Because I'm Canadian and there's moose in the fucking word? Moosey.
I don't know. Maybe it's a moose thing.
Oh my god, have you ever seen a moose in the road and roll down your window and go, vamoose? While drinking a bag of milk?
No.
Oh, fuck. And then later on he says, the dead are leaving their tombs. He says, that's correct. I'm telling you, the stuff in that bar is gold. All the conversations they have, it's so fucking funny.
That's it, like shit that you would be like ridiculous. They just say so matter of factly too.
And it's so weird too when they kill the bar patrons. If you notice, like the two of the guys are laying down, they're bloody as hell, and then you see the bar owner, and his shirt is ripped, and they just make a habit of lingering right on his nipple. If you ever watch again, just notice it doesn't even look like he's had any damage done to him, but he's laying there with like his shirt torn to shreds and his nipples hanging out.
Maybe Fulci had a nipple fetish.
I know.
Well, they do say the nipples are the eyes of the chest. I have a bumper sticker that says that.
He couldn't get the female leads to go nude, so he got the males to go topless, I guess. So, well, we'll show these nipples instead. At least he can say we showed them. Is there any nudity in this movie? In these? I don't think there is, huh?
No,
not at all. Which is fine. It doesn't make a difference to me. I just thought about it.
You don't see the girl at the beginning of House of the Cemetery? No, you don't, do you?
No, I don't think. No. Lots of pretty women too. And it's kept classy. I like that. No, that's cool. You know, but those Italians, they don't always do it in supernatural movies. Just like Argento, most of the time in the supernatural stuff, you don't see that. That's more of a giallo type thing, nudity. It's sleazier, you know. I don't know. How about in the beginning? How many times the woman says the word contact in the fucking opening seance? She says it 4 times in fucking like 12 seconds. You've got to make contact. Over here, we're making contact. Did you make your contact? Over. What the fuck?
I didn't notice it, but now that you've brought it up, I'll never not notice it moving forward.
Oh yeah, it's right in the beginning too.
And the cop, you look better in your mugshot. He says that to her.
What's this? Down the toilet. It reminds you of the guy from Demons. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, the black pimp.
Yes, the way he talks. Yes, an instrument of evil. What's he say?
Yeah, you got it. You got it.
Oh, I love that. Oh shit. Man, oh
yeah,
man.
they needed to. I mean, they didn't need to. I don't want to. Let me take that back. I think some people probably want more on the book, more on what the opening of the tomb actually means, how to actually stop it. Because all they say is you got to close that tomb. Because when they go into the tomb, you see it's broken, meaning the father's spirit broke out and opened the gate of hell. Okay, that makes sense, but there was nothing explained that, when you go down there, you're going to have to stab, the spirit of the evil spirit of Father Thomas.
You're right. It's reactionary.
Well,
just like Suspiria.
Yeah.
I mean, she just goes up there and fucking stabs her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
At least Father Thomas wasn't illuminated by a bolt of lightning.
No, he wasn't. But he's already dead. What do you want? He's a what is it? A tomb? What did that guy say he was? The dead are leaving their tombs. He's just a dead guy walking around.
You doing everything as the pimp from Demons.
I know, right? It's not the right voice at all.
Leaving their tombs, yo.
There should be a whole. That's what Fulci should have done. He should have done a
I pity the fools who leave their tombs.
The Italians should have done a blaxploitation movie, and they were all dubbed like that. Could you imagine? They all talk like Tony the Pimp and this guy, and they had a whole movie like that. Every line was delivered that way. The dead are leaving their tombs. Oh, that'd be great. Oh shit.
That's set piece though. I'll go back to it again. That's set piece once they enter the tomb. I couldn't even tell everything that was going on. At one point, it looked like they had like a setup, like it's upside down, because you see like skeletons hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah, what was that?
I don't know what.
I'm not gonna question it.
I'm not questioning it because it was awesome. It was like horrifying. Right. It freaked me out. I was like, it almost looked like an upside down like dinner table. It looked like skeletons sitting around a table, but it was upside down. Yeah. I don't care that I couldn't understand what it was because it was so disorienting and horrifying. And then when they rise up and that score kicks in, that thump, that bass, and all that, and I was just like, this is awesome. This is genuine horror right here. Yeah. Like this is stuff. Like if I had seen this as a kid, I would have been terrified by that scene.
Dude, yes, I was thinking that too. It's horror. It really, you're in there. That's a horror movie, you know?
Yeah.
Because I've been watching the 70s movies and this and that, and some of them are straight horror, some of them are more dramatic, some of this and this, and I'm like, okay, this is what horror was in 1970. There isn't a whole lot of old school type, and there isn't a whole lot of skeletons and stuff like that, and creepy atmosphere. There are some. Again, I'm only a dozen movies in or so it doesn't matter. But I've been having these thoughts as I'm watching the movies about, and as I'm watching this last night. Same thing. That scene and another scene in The Beyond towards the end when they're being pursued by freaking the dead. I'm like, yeah, this is freaking horror movie. They don't make stuff like this anymore. And
no, they don't.
And it doesn't seem like it's too hard to do. I mean, the set pieces and whatnot, I guess, or I don't know.
And again, the fact that nobody's safe, that your main characters, two of your main characters, are just very nonchalantly killed off.
Right.
And I like the fact that the ghosts of the dead, they sort of like disappear, reappear, so that, like there's no sense to it. Because when Christopher George is killed in the tomb, like you see Sandra's dead body walking towards them, and then all of a sudden she grabs him from behind because she like disappeared and reappeared behind him. I kind of like that. Mm-hmm. Same thing with the little kid when he sees Swathi from the car when he jumps down from the bridge. It's cool stuff. Yeah, they seen them hanging, disappearing, and it's some cool stuff really going on here.
And there's more hanging again. There's another connection. The guy hung himself in House by the Cemetery, and they talked about it. Oh, he hung himself right from that. Remember? They pointed out.
Yeah, that's the most shocking zoom in of like a.
That's what they did.
That railing right there. Do.
Yeah, it was so matter of fact. Yes, he hung himself, and he was right there. Not to be talking about that one, but I mean, just another comparison. Somebody hangs himself in this one, and then this one. It's like, He did a lot of that on purpose. I only wish he would have tied up one of them more. But a lot of people
You know, it'd be a great poster. You know how they have those cat posters where the cat's like holding on and says "Hang in there." How about a "Hang in there" poster with Father Thomas on it? Come on, don't tell me like Fulci lovers wouldn't buy that. Hang in there.
Yes, they would.
It'll be on Terror Threads next week.
I know. Someone will take it. You're right. That's why we should have our own merchandise store, our own ideas. Something, right? Gutter garbage, the best one.
Gutter garbage.
Yes.
I just like saying rotten cotton. I don't buy it. I don't want rotten cotton. I want good cotton.
I don't buy it, he says. I thought you were like saying it from like an expression. I don't buy it. You know what I mean? I just don't buy it.
All right, so he's like, let's wrap this up. All right.
How do you buy the movie? How's that? How's that for you? Oh, how about that rat flying out for no reason? That part's great when they're in the tomb. And she pokes the hole in the tomb, and all of a sudden a rat flies out.
Why don't I remember that?
You remember that rat flying out of that one tube? Oh, it was great. Or maybe it was the bat. No, that's the other movie.
No, that's the other movie. Yeah, that's it.
See, something else that came from Suspiria. That big bat attacking.
That was Meatloaf.
Oh,
that was Meatloaf. That was a bat out of hell. Daddy, are you okay? What's the matter? Don't you see this bat eating my fucking hand? Bob, you little shit.
I'll say one more thing. The bleeding eye gag is fucking awesome. They do it twice in the movie. I don't know how they did it.
Dude, even when they show close-up of it, I'm trying to look for, like, tubing and stuff. They mask it really well. Whatever they're doing, like, I don't see it.
No.
That's great.
It's great.
Yeah.
Boy, isn't it, though? Okay, let's do this. See, what do you got? I know you're chomping at the bit. You say your favorite one?
Yeah, no, it's my favorite one, but I'm also, like, I'm not as high on Fulci as a lot of people. It's an 8.5 out of 10.
Me too. 8.5 out of 10.
Swear exactly where I am as well. 8.5 out of 10.
Wow.
It's great. Nice. Like, I like it. I just think that some of these movies that we're talking about, well, for some people, there's always going to be people that have a movie at a 10 out of 10. And The Beyond is usually the one that gets the most praise, it seems. I just find that this is the scariest. For whatever reason, the scariest. It's got some great gores we spoke about. The atmosphere is there for all three. So I think you'll be happy with the atmosphere no matter which film you start with, or if you just wanted to pick one.
And I think House by the Cemetery is actually underappreciated.
I do too.
After watching it 2 more times in the last week, I really think that stands up just pretty close to the other two as well. So,
yep,
we'll get there.
Definitely,
we will.
Yeah,
we will.
Cool. All right. So The Beyond.
The Beyond.
This movie.
Yeah, from 1981. Also Fulci, of course. A young woman inherits an old hotel in Louisiana where, following a series of supernatural accidents, she learns that the building was built over one of the entrances to hell. She learns that the building was built.
Building was built.
The building was built.
Buying a bag of bagged milk.
Buying a bag of bagged milk where the building was built. See, now this is a test. I want you to buy a bag of milk where the building was built. And get back to us next episode.
Vamoose.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, and then I want you to vamoose a moose while drinking a bag of milk that you bought from a building that was built.
I just want to jump out a window, but I'm in the basement. I can do anything. Yeah.
What did you told me you wanted to Gordon yourself the other day. What did I say?
Oh, only 300 and something more episodes left to go. And I'm like, I want to Gordon myself.
Yeah, we were talking, like only 351 more episodes.
Yeah. Not in my contract.
I won't last that long anyway.
Dave's going to have to get up an extra hour early.
Yeah.
I got to put on my diaper before we record. I got to put in a mud flap, change my diaper.
That would be me. I still want to though.
I'm trying to get into the movie. It's funny how it works. And usually it's the other way. I'm the one making the bullshit stuff. But I will get there. I'll bullshit as well. This is the one. I think now that time has gone on, people look back at Fulci and appreciate a lot more of his works or his whole body of work or all the horror films. But at the time, it seemed when I was growing up in the 80s and became a horror fan and would read about it, this was considered his classic. This was the Fucci film of all Fucci films. At least that's how I remember it at the
what
time.
Film of all films?
The Fulci films of all Fulci films. What did I say?
Oh, I thought you said Fucci.
I mean, again, possible. It's always possible.
I'm dropping the L. There's no more L. It's Fucci now.
Fucci. I might have said Fucci.
Dr.
Just,
It's not bagged
anyway.
milk. It's bagged Mick.
But
Not
now it seems like it just gets lost. Maybe because people refer to this as the Gates of Hell trilogy, and now it's just part of whatever trilogy they're going with.
I still think this stands out as people's favorites.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's got some great moments, but I actually think it's actually my, again, least favorite is all relative. It actually comes in probably at the same rating as the last one we're going to be talking about today as well, but yet I think I enjoy this one the least out of all three. But
I think I'm pretty similar on all of them, but at least this one, what they do is they give you backstory. So they start you off in 1927, and you get the Schweik backstory that these people think he's a warlock and all that, when in actuality, he's the only one with the knowledge of... I don't know why they changed the book name in this one. Now it's the book of, what is it, Ebon? And he's the one protecting it. Like, you gotta let me... I'm the only one who knows how to protect the portal from opening, the gate of hell. But then what is...
There's nothing in the next one. That's the problem.
No, then what is the girl? The girl. She also lives in the hotel. Who sees everything, the blind girl. Emily.
Oh, Liz?
What?
Isn't her name Liz?
No, Liza is the main girl. Is Katrina?
Oh yeah, Liza.
Emily, another Emily.
Yes, the other Emily. There's two. Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Yep, it's Emily. Yep.
Yeah.
Liz. How about Arthur and Martha? Is Arthur and Martha here? What a good name for a mother and a son.
That's another weird thing. That's another weird thing they do with this, because you have our doctor character.
Lipschitz?
What's his name?
Brandon, it's Dr. Lipschitz.
No, John. David Warbeck.
John.
John.
Yeah, another John. No, just one John this time. Porta John.
So there's another one. We go from a John to a John. Is there a Joe in the next movie?
Yeah.
No, there's a Joe in this movie, though. Joe the plumber. That guy. Fucking what's his name? I was talking about Joe the plumber. You know what I'm talking about? That fucking politician. What was his name?
I have no clue what you're talking about. No.
What the fuck? Yeah. McCain, the Republican guy from they ran against Obama the first time Obama came in. It was McCain versus Obama.
Yeah.
And this guy, McCain, his fucking whole gimmick was Joe the plumber, and he actually was a person.
That's right. Yes, he had him.
He was like, yes. He was talking. Wanted to represent like a blue collar worker and this and that, and he was having this debate, and someone said something to him, and his response was, he goes, "Well, I was talking about Joe the plumber." My wife jokes about it to this day, because my wife, she was always conservative, my wife, right? So she had her conservative friend telling her, "Hey, listen, you got to watch the debate tonight. You got to watch the debate tonight." So she watched it, and she was so mad because she thought McCain talking about Joe the plumber was so fucking ridiculous. She got mad at her friends for fucking making her stay up late. It's like, that's what I watched, Joe the plumber. She was anyway.
Well, it didn't help that he also had Sarah Palin, so.
He had her. Oh, that's what I heard. Right, that's true though. Right.
Yeah. What the fuck are we talking about?
I don't know. Moving on. Joe the plumber. What a death. How about that one? That was fucking. And here's what I don't get about Joe the plumber's death. Why did they rule it as an accident? He goes down in the basement. When the woman finds him, clearly he's been gouged. He's been fucking... The condition he's in. How come later on in the movie the guy said, well, there's been 2 accidents in your house. The painter that fell, and then Joe in the basement. Why would that be ruled an accident? Clearly he was attacked.
It's the only rational explanation, because nobody was down there.
I know, but okay, so if you have your house, and you have a plumber go in the basement, and his fucking eyes gouged out, and he's
Rats.
Flying rats.
No, rats, seriously. Look, did you see that place? They definitely had rats down there. So, you die, he's laying in the water, rats probably chewed on his face. That's to me, is like, oh, he accidentally maybe fell, hit his head, drowned.
Okay. fair enough. I'm not knocking the movie.
I want to know like more about this rich uncle. How does Liza get the hotel? Like, what does it all mean? Like, it's obviously foretold in this book because again, we're dealing with a book that foretells like everything that's going to happen for 4,000 years. And you know, she inherits the hotel, and obviously the water is rotting the walls, and that's why Joe opens up the gate by pulling away the wall, and you see the symbol that Schweik has on his arm that was like carved into the wall. And you know, this one's much more of a revenge story because Schweik was painted as a good guy, and then all of a sudden, you know, once the gate opens, he's our main character who comes back killing everyone.
Yeah, it's confusing, isn't it?
It's a little confusing, but again,
I thought about that till you just said it.
Yeah, but again, the showcase of the kills, man.
Ooh, even the opening kill.
Yeah. Oh, the
crucifixion. Yeah. Everything. The cutting.
Dude, the crucifixion's great, and one thing that Fulci did, and I liked it even in Don't Torture a Duckling when they kill that gypsy woman, which is a horrifying scene, is whenever you get hit with chains, it just rips the flesh apart.
Yes. Ah. Yeah, I dig it.
It's well done. The gore effects in this one are fine. The problem is that they stop dead for the movie. Like, I mean, that tarantula scene could easily be double speed, and it doesn't lose any of its effectiveness.
Dude, isn't there one fake tarantula in there? Isn't there one fake one?
There's two fake tarantulas.
It's hopping. They always show it hopping.
Like Kermit the Frog in the background.
Yeah, there's like 4 regular tarantulas, and then there's always one like looks like fucking tripping. That's like the Dave Z tarantula going like, it's like...
Yeah, just for no reason. It doesn't... It has a slow hop. The other ones are walking, and it's going... I love it. It's like a
no one will ever complain that loves this movie because it's their movie and whatever. But that scene stops dead. I'm like, get on with it. Eat his face and cut to the next fucking scene.
It's
same with the scene in the mortuary where the acid just decides that I'm gonna keep this bottle of fucking open acid on the top shelf. This woman's gonna end up on the ground and it's gonna dump on her face and dissolve it ever so slowly.
And what does it mean that the daughter, Jill, you know, she gets attacked in the freezer and then it like cuts away and then you see her at the funeral and she's blind. Like what does that mean?
She's blind earlier when she's walking. Don't you remember when she first leaves the funeral? Oh, that's what you said. I thought you meant at the very end of the movie.
No, when she leaves the
funeral.
funeral.
I don't know what that means. I just think that she's touched by something, I guess.
Yeah.
I didn't think deeply about it.
Her uncle.
I'm not over analyzing. At the end of the day, this is, you know, a portal opening, and you know, they don't even have a plan to close this thing. They're just sort of trying to survive, and then that ending happens, you know. But
my question with that girl, the Jill girl, is how come her mother gets killed earlier in the movie, right?
Yeah.
Oh wait, oh no, she does leave because she has to go to the funeral. I don't understand why at the end of the movie she's just there. And my note was
it makes no sense. It makes me think that, like you said, after she's been touched, she's evil and she's there like as one of the dead. She's evidently one of the dead already.
Maybe because the other girl doesn't really exist. The other blind girl.
Yeah.
She was there 50 years ago or something. They said nobody's been there for 50 years or whatever the hell it was. She was there and now she's an instrument of evil or whatever she's trying to do.
Dude, that's a cool
goddamn instrument of evil.
That's a cool scene when she runs out of the house when they don't use the footprint sounds, the foot hitting the ground sounds with her and the dog with Dickie.
Yeah.
You know, it's weird because I always took that in a different way because I read it and they're like, oh, you know, Liza realizes that Emily and Dickie don't make any noise when they're running out. And they show her thinking about it and watching them run out. And their feet are hitting the ground, but no sound is being made. And she's running and she's making sounds to see if it's normal. But nothing's bothering her about the fact that the blind girl runs out ahead of the dog and runs down the stairs. Like, yeah. I understand you can memorize stuff like that, but she's full on sprinting. Like, can you imagine if you saw a blind person sprinting down the street and their seeing eye dog is behind them, like chasing them? Like, that would weird me out. Not the fact that their shoes weren't making loud sounds on the floor.
And I have a question about Dickie here. Is that supposed to be an attack dog? Aren't service dogs ones that cannot attack? Isn't it the one or the other? Are there service dogs that are also attack dogs?
No,
For some reason, it doesn't make sense to me. You think it's a blind person. They're very calm. Because I remember when I was a kid, there was a blind man in my neighborhood who used to walk his dog around the block. Nice old gentleman. And we would talk to him and stuff. And he would say, and of course, there's a bunch of little kids coming around. But I mean, no, but little younger kids than us would sometimes, like, because they're little kids, they would pull the dog's tail or do something like that. The dog would never react. You couldn't get it was like
service dogs can't be aggressive.
That's what I'm saying. So the fact that she had an attack and she goes, attack, Dickie, attack. Or
I like that your mean friends were pulling on his tail to test him.
Well, they were babies. They were like, I'm saying it was like younger kids and they're young, and kids like us and their younger siblings. So there's a little baby, a 2-year-old or someone will pull a dog's tail. It's like I just remember seeing a couple times something happen and the dog didn't respond.
You were checking for mud flaps even back then. Like, is this dog mud flapping?
Oh man. So that doesn't make. I just wanted to make sure.
That kill is insane though. That's the best kill in this movie.
What, the Argento? That kill, the fucking Suspiria kill? It does. I'll tell you what.
It's awesome. It looks
it is
awesome. It really does. The blood flow, the innards, everything. The
ear comes off. Everything.
Oh man, when Dickie's pulling at the ear.
Yes.
Dickie Van Gogh'd her.
Yeah, Dickie in your ear.
Admittedly, I'm forgetting a lot of this film because I watched it a while ago, and as much as it's blending all together, I get very confused at what is in what. This is in Louisiana. That's all I remember.
Yeah, this one's a little bit too like, takes too much liberty with it being, all like fever dreamish. Like a little bit of like, how did we make sense to this? Like, obviously, Emily is a spirit that comes back to try to warn Liza, of the impending doom. But why didn't she just come out and say it?
Well, no. Here's the problem there. I don't know what she's supposed to be doing because they're coming for her, and she says, "I won't go back. I won't go back." I did what I was told. So she did what they wanted. I think that they don't want anybody in that house. Is what it comes down to, and she was sent to get them out of the house. You're not wanted here. You know what I mean? That's what her job was. I guess she didn't succeed, so that's why they came for her. That's what I think.
Yeah. Okay.
They never succeed, it seems, in these movies.
True. But it makes sense to me. This movie, see, I don't have any problems with about the girl's eyeball. When you're talking about a supernatural movie, I can overlook little things like that. I just can't overlook certain things that in the plot that don't connect right, that are more important to the plot than something like that. Like in the next movie, I'm gonna have questions, but this one I do not. I understand what maybe I could see. I'm okay with it. I just enjoy the ride here, and I love the tarantula scene. It's probably my favorite part of the movie.
I like it too, because it freaks me out. Like, I think it's effective. I get what Christian's saying, though.
I don't just like it. I'm just putting. Again, we're here to critique. If we're just blowing the movie, well, again, sometimes we do that. But I found when I was watching this, I'm like, come on, and you could put that on 2.5 speed. It's still terrifying, and it's still effective.
I wouldn't have minded if they started with the tarantulas actually already like really close to the body. They started from like a mile away. It's like that scene in Austin Powers. It's like that Austin Powers scene where the guy gets run over by the steamroller, but the steamroller's like 6 hours away and he's just screaming from like, ah! They just hold it. Like, it was very Austin Powers.
Well, I'm assuming you think that he was not just startled or in shock from falling off that ladder, but that maybe he's been frozen or somehow paralyzed.
Oh, he definitely he falls from like 20 feet up and cracks his head. And that the eye cam with the tarantula on him, like, he sees the bottom of you wouldn't see the bottom of the tarantula, it'd just be black.
Oh.
It's almost as if he had a glass plate on his head.
I call it the Thunderdome cam. You know when AC/DC plays in every fucking video and they're in the Thunderdome and they're stomping on top of the camera?
It is the
Fulci directed those videos.
What about Fulci,
Give him
though?
tarantula cam. Fulci, whatever. What did I say this time?
Director? Fulci or Fucci?
I don't. Neither are my favorites.
Lucio Futon.
Oh, this movie was so boring. They should have called it Lucio Futon, man.
No, again, this movie, the cinematography, the setting, the gore itself is great. I'm just saying that, like, those scenes, I was just like, oh, come on. The morgue scenes and the people coming to life at the end and attacking are all really creepy. And a fucking kid gets their head blown clear through with a gun, which was a pretty spectacular effect. So
it was great.
This is all about, it's in, out, done. It's not a long movie, hour and a half. And it's all about the feeling, the atmosphere you get. I just don't hold it on a pedestal. I put it on a pedestal like some do. I like it. It's very good. And I enjoyed it every time I watch it. But for whatever reason, when I watch them, and I watch them twice again, but this one I watched the second time a week ago. It's still, I was like, for whatever reason, the other ones edge it out ever so slightly.
Yeah. Well, the book is moving around a lot, which makes you think that it could be Emily or Schweik doing it, moving the book. The book is in one room, then it's in another room, then she thinks she sees it at the bookstore, and finally the doctor gets the book, and he thinks it's Liza going nuts, who's been moving it around, and she's the one doing all this, and it's a decent underlying story with the doctor being a man of science, not wanting to buy into this, supernatural phenomenon. So I get why, like, he wouldn't believe it. He's like, there's got to be a rational explanation. So, we're going to go to the hospital. He wants to talk to his other doctor buddy or whoever that other guy is, the guy from the first one. Played the grave digger in the first one, the blonde hair guy, who gets who gets the glass this time, the glass in the face.
Oh yeah. That's good stuff too. I think I like some of the shots in this movie more than the others. It seems like there was more focus on the cinematography than in the other ones. I don't know. There's that one shot when she's driving in the beginning, and then when she comes across the
down that ridiculous highway that is like abandoned, and she's the only one driving the single lane. Yeah.
Yeah, and then she stops dead because the
visually it looks great. Yeah, very
visually.
Hey, what the fuck is a blind girl and a dog doing in the middle of a fucking bridge?
Yeah. And then there's that one shot after they leave, right when they leave the house, and then you can see all the lights coming out of the windows and the different bodies walking around. Yeah, shit like that, man. And I just love
that's cool. But there's too many. I don't want to say the plot holes. There's just too much unexplained stuff. I need a deeper dive into the book, into what the hell is going on here. Into the painting. Like, the painting is awesome. The Sea of Darkness.
There you go.
Like, why is Schweik why is he painting it?
Because he's touched by it. Because
I know. But he's the protector of this gate, and he's painting this as maybe a warning. And then ultimately, that's what.
Maybe he's haunted by it. It's in his head, and he has to get it out. Maybe it's fucking driving him mad, and he has to get it out. You know what I mean? Anytime it's supernatural, that's the way I can usually find it to rationalize.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. I'm not like saying it's ridiculous. I'm just saying I want more of that stuff.
Yeah, I guess that's the thing. I guess that's where I differ with movies like this than maybe you or other people. When it's something like that in this type of movie, I don't know. Evil is there, and it's doing things to people. And I don't know. I guess that makes me happy enough, Just
the really cool scene though. I mean, going down the stairs in the hospital and ending up in the basement of the motel is fantastic. That's awesome. That's terrifying. And of course, them just being basically in the painting at this point, being in the Sea of Darkness and turning around and seeing the same thing everywhere, being trapped in hell or purgatory or wherever the hell they are. It is awesome. Fantastic, and it's quite terrifying and effective.
It's just downbeat ending, and I love the you mentioned the blind motif, but the blind eye effect is also very unsettling, and that would have been the thing that scared me as a kid, is seeing that, That stuff's the freaky stuff. That and the bleeding of the eyes from the other movie.
I think just the way they ran, the way they slowed it down, the way the scene with Emily and the dog were shot, where there's like no sound. They're running like it's silent. And it's just really creepy and effective. Just a little like, I'm just a little confused about it. I'm a little confused about Schweik, about the book, about could they have stopped this one. The first one was like, oh, yeah, they have to go close the tomb. That's what you have to do before All Saints Day. You're lollygagging, that's my issue. Christopher George and Mary, they want to stop for fucking snacks every 2 seconds. Like, of course, you're not going to make it on time. Like, oh, we have to close the priest's tomb. Oh, let's go back to my office and talk about it for a little bit. Yeah. Like, no, go fucking do it. They're even in talk about it. They're walking around the graveyard in the first one, and they're like, where do we even start? You're there! Go to his fucking tomb! Like, at least that one, you could just be like, they just fucking lollygag too much. This one, I'm like, wait, what? Like, could anything have been done? What was Emily's motive? I like that, though. Maybe Emily wasn't really, like, maybe she was just there to get them out.
Yeah, she told them not to go.
Because she tells him not to go there, but there's also the ringing from room 36, which is Schweik's room. She says don't go into that room, so she warns her not to go into that room. But that room has nothing to do with the portal. That's just where Schweik was. So by opening the door, did that let Schweik out? Who are Arthur and Martha?
Who are they?
They
came with the house. Right?
Exactly, but that's weird because even the doctor says, I've never heard of them, and he knows everyone.
Yeah, they're ghosts, just like the other girl is.
Yeah.
But there's evil afoot here, man.
Yeah.
Stay out of that fucking place.
It's still a really good film, and again, fever dreamish, supernatural, great gore, great score. Wish I had more.
Not a bore.
Oh. Wish I had more. And that's it. Like, it's enjoyable. Like we said, almost like the exact same thing from the last movie. It's fast paced and it's gory, and the imagery makes up for maybe the narrative not being as straightforward as I would like.
And don't you just think like a remake of one of these, like combining elements of all of them?
Yeah, sure.
It would be an epic. It would be probably you're talking another 2-hour, 15-minute movie, but
easily.
It would have great kills, explore more on the book. I mean, even in the first one, she was about to say, the killer is, and then that fireball shoots up in the first one. Like, who is the killer? Is it Father Thomas? Was Father Thomas evil? Did he do that intentionally to open the gate? Or was it someone else?
Anybody.
Exactly.
You might be the killer. I don't know. I don't know who it was. But I enjoy it all nonetheless.
I think, you know what? I think I rated the same.
You know what?
I think I rated the same. Yeah, I think, you know what? I was going to come in at an 8, but I feel like, I don't know. I feel like it's just right on par. I feel like they're both just super enjoyable. They really are. 8.5. I'm going to go 8.5.
Yeah, me too. Yes, sir.
And I'm an 8, as I mentioned. Yeah. It's fine. And again, it's great. I'll rewatch it, and I'll rewatch it.
Oh, absolutely.
Numerous times.
I love these films. I had a great time with them this time. I'll probably rewatch them more, even though I think I'm probably rating these 3, especially the first 2, the lowest I ever have. But, I think we do that sometimes. We're like, oh, it's such a great film, 10 out of 10. I think we throw out 10s sometimes way too easily, because I know people love these films, and I love these films. But I can't give it a 10 out of 10. It's not a perfect film by any means, but it's still amazing.
Man, I'd like to make a list of everything I've given a 10 out of 10, and honestly, to see how many there are.
Sometimes I feel like I've given too many 10s out of 10s. I wouldn't shy away giving a film a 10, and it doesn't even have to be a perfect film. I just feel like as much as I enjoy these, I don't know if I could get to a 10 out of 10.
No, but I want to know how many I've given now, because we discussed it in the 2010s. I think I gave 6 or 7 movies a 10 out of 10 for the whole decade. Okay, now if I look at my top 20 horror movies, because we made a list, those are all 10s out of 10s. I know that they are. That's how they got there. I was looking at all my favorite movies and this and that and the other thing, or whatever. You know what I mean? then I'm looking at stuff that we've reviewed on the show, and a lot of it we do have written down. And even 1 to 100 we have the charts. Otherwise, I could just look at the shows we've done. We're at 149 and see if I give it any others. I might just make a list. I'm curious. I want to know how many I've given a 10 out of 10. I'm curious.
Yeah.
I think that it shouldn't be more than, I don't even know if there is a number. I mean, if you have 10 out of 10s, well, there's a problem. But I think maybe, I don't know, 150 or less I think is okay. That's the number I came up with.
Hey, given the amount of films we've seen, man, I've probably watched 5,000, not 5,000, maybe 3,000 films since we started doing the show in the last 5 years.
So there you go. But
yeah,
percentage-wise.
Yeah,
you know,
3,000 films. So even if 5% were 10 out of 10s, that'd be 150.
Yeah, see, that's not bad.
That's not bad. And we're watching the upper echelon films.
We watched a lot of great films. Absolutely.
Yeah. House by the Cemetery. This one, was this also 1981? Yeah. Same year?
Yeah, same year.
Yeah. Okay.
1 in 80, 2 in 81. Pretty crazy.
2 in 81. A New England home is terrorized by a series of murders, unbeknownst to the guests that a gruesome secret is hiding in the basement.
In the basement.
Now, this one to me does not fit with the Gates of Hell because this is really more of a mad scientist film.
Oh, it has nothing to do with them. I think it was filmed at the same time, looks identical and was gory. It was directed by Fulci and has the girl in it again. Done. That's the connection.
Same atmosphere. Yeah, you're right, though. Right. Yeah. Same type of atmosphere, great kills, everything else. And these 3 movies are kind of different than his other 3 movies, and they were all filmed in that short time. And like you said, same girl, everything else. So I wish they would have done that. Great
opening kills with her finding the boyfriend's scissor to the door and then taking that knife through the back of the mouth. Ooh.
The back of the head. It was like it was in the back of the head through the mouth.
Yeah.
This was probably my favorite when I was a kid. I think I watched this the most when I was younger, out of the 3 that we're talking about today. But I still really enjoy it. But I think now Gates of Hell, City of Living Dead has become my
it's
fave.
weird. I've always held this one as the lowest, and now watching it these last 2 times, I feel like it's close now. It's close. It's a completely different story, but I really like the effect. I fucking love Anna. I love the actress who plays her, who was in Tenebrae and Inferno, yeah. And she could have been the third mother in Mother of Tears, but she turned it down.
Did you keep calling Bob Marco? And damn Marco for using Bob's face as his Facebook profile for like 2 years, because every time I saw Bob on the screen, I was thinking Marco, that Finnish guy. I love you, Marco, but damn you.
You thought that was the childhood picture of Marco, didn't you?
Yeah, it's Marco.
Amazing.
That fucking guy. But that's it, the power of the fucking image. What Bob has to endure is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
Again, some really cool stuff. Really cool. Not listening to children. You know, here it is, children giving warnings and just powerless to the. Are
they the monsters?
To the authority of the adults. I love the opening scene. Yeah. The painting. The painting is terrifying.
Oh, with the girl where you. Yeah. Oh yeah. I love that too. It's great.
Yeah.
This is crazy too. But for some reason. Again, I've accepted it in all 3 movies, but for some reason I buy it more in this one. Like
this one's the most straightforward.
Yeah,
this one's the most straightforward. I think. Really, I think the Beyond.
This is the one I've always had problems with because I can't make sense of it. And yesterday I made more sense of it than before, but I still ultimately don't get what the fuck. Don't get the ending. Don't understand how this girl's talking to Bob telepathically.
Well, they don't explain that. That's what I'm saying. But they establish it, and for whatever reason, I buy it. They don't explain it.
I buy it because, one, she's a ghost. Connection.
Yeah.
She communicates, and who would be most susceptible to the supernatural? Children. So to me, like that, who would be the most open to listening to a dead girl? So that's why I'm glad they went with the child here rather than like Emily talking to Liza in the Beyond.
What are all the crying children things all about? How come they always have crying children?
Victims of Freudstein.
So he killed a bunch of kids. That's what we're getting at.
Yeah, he
And
kills
at
the
end of
kids.
movie,
He kills the kids to rejuvenate his cells so he can live forever. He kills the kids. That's why you always hear the crying. That made sense to me this time. He's killing the kids.
Okay, that's my question. I didn't know that. Where did you get children out of this? I didn't see any telltale signs that he was a child murderer. Did they say there was a bunch of missing children in the area over the years?
No, but when you see like the bodies on the table, it looks like little small children, tiny skulls and tiny bodies, and plus the crying, and they kill other people too. He needs human victims, but I'm assuming he's killing a lot of children as well. And Mrs. Freudstein is the caretaker of the children after they're dead.
So Bob gets to stay, and the little girl is dead, and Bob is alive, and the caretaker is dead. So he gets to join these two ghosts.
No, Bob's dead. Bob's dead.
Are you talking about at the end?
At the end, Bob's dead.
How was he dead? From what?
He didn't make it. He never made it out.
He didn't make it.
He didn't make it. He didn't make it. They just didn't show the kill. They did it in a more artistic way. You see the father get killed. You see the mother get killed. And you see Bob trying to get out. Then all of a sudden, May pulls him out. It's just sort of like sparing him from the horrors of having to see in his own, mutilated body. But he's dead. And he's going to live in this, in a purgatory. And he's going to join May. And they're going to have...
You figured all this shit out in this movie. And then... in the last movie, you have all these questions.
I could be completely wrong too. Everything I could say, somebody could listen to it and be like, "That's fucking bullshit." That's just how I interpreted this time, and I'm like,
okay,
all right, I'm on board with this.
My biggest thing is, why do they have a tomb entrance to the basement? It's like they've got in the room. There's the tomb entrance, and then I'm like, well, but the basement door just leads right to it as well. So I'll just go through the basement door. I mean, something's weird there. I don't know if that was just
something weird with all the movies. Is like when somebody has an opportunity to run or get out, it seems like they move very slow or just stand there and lollygag. It's like, get the fuck out of the basement.
Right. Well, they're frightened. I get frozen with fear. That's something we have to accept in so many horror movies. It is what it is, Did you think that the mannequin?
The Mannequinino get decapitated?
Yeah, that. You know who I thought it looked like when I first saw Brooke Shields? 100%. That's Brooke Shields, and that's what she would have looked like about that time. Well, maybe not that time. Hold on. Maybe that was one of the Blue Lagoon come out a couple years later, maybe.
I have no clue.
Big part of my childhood, the Blue Lagoon. Oh.
Well, that was supposed to be like a foreshadowing, right? Yeah, that was like the softcore movie.
Yeah,
of that
was a foreshadowing because it was Anna's head, but big part of my childhood, the Blue Lagoon.
Weird.
I just like the way you said that. It's like
it's a good movie too. It's fun. You ever watch the Blue Lagoon?
It's been a long time since I've seen it.
Watch it now. I'm telling you, it's pretty fucking. I don't know. It was very intriguing when I was young. Not just because of Naked Brooke Shields, but the story between these two. I bet if you watch it now, you pull a lot of stuff out of it artistically. But anyway,
I'll pull a lot of stuff.
All right, here's something I pull out of this. Here's something I pull out of this story as well, because this one's got a lot of underlying hidden things. The agent acts like he's seen the husband before. She acts like it, and a couple other people.
Yes.
Even reference. Here's what I think was happening. I think that this husband, this Norman, was no damn good. I think not only had he been to this town before, but I think he was having an affair with Anna, the babysitter.
Because what the fuck was up with Anna? They didn't explain that either, and that's another critique.
I think they were having an affair because someone even said, "I've seen you with your daughter," and Anna's a lot younger than him, so it would make sense. I'm like, he's been there, he's down there, because the other guy who killed his mistress, and then himself, or they say did, was obviously cheating. He killed his mistress because remember he said he never went to see the wife. So if there's one philandering guy, here's another philandering guy. They were probably both going down to that house to cheat together.
Wait, was Anna the mistress?
That was my guess. The way they kept looking at it.
She was fucking them both. You're telling me?
No, I don't think. No, Anna wasn't the mistress. Okay. The mistress was killed. The other guy's mistress was killed. Peterson.
Maybe Anna was a ghost. Look, anyway, I'm going too deep. I'm sorry.
But Dave,
just got me spinning.
Dave, going back to the ending, as Brandon said, they're literally walking away. The girl that we know is a ghost, with Mrs. Freudstein, right? And Bob. So how did you think he survived?
Why? Because I saw it with my own 2 eyes. The thing was and the girl fucking dragged him out. Okay, Bob lives because she pulled him out. Parents are dead. So I'm thinking, well, what's going to happen to Bob now? They're going to go off with these 2, and you know what I mean?
He opens up a mattress store and he sells Bobopedics.
Why did you think he didn't survive?
Because of how Brandon explained it. I think you watch him
yesterday when you watched the movie, or last week, or whatever. So you always have the same. You've always come to the same conclusion that Brandon mentioned.
I'm always with Christian when he watches this movie. Explain.
Yeah.
But you asked me, so I'm going to ask you now.
No, I don't even know. I don't have an opinion on that because I never even thought of it before because I was just watching the movie. To be honest, these movies, I'll probably remember them more now than ever before because I've watched them twice in a row now. But even earlier, I said I forgot the Beyond started blending together. It's kind of like, this is going to be a horrible comparison because people are going to lose their minds over this that are diehard fans of this. It's like the Saw series. There's so fucking many movies that they blur together after a while until you rewatch them again. So again, to strengthen my argument, I'm saying they all blend together. I wasn't thinking the last scene of this movie was Bob walking away, but then when seeing it again, I'm like, oh, okay, so he didn't die and he's being taken away. They just didn't want to show a super gory kid death because he's being taken care of now. Or watched.
That's what you thought, but now you think that Brandon might be right about this.
No, that's what Brandon was saying.
Yeah, no, he basically said the same thing.
You said he survived. Then it's not the same thing. He died.
No, I didn't say he survived.
I thought you said they didn't want to show a kid killed, so he survived. I thought you said.
They didn't show the death.
Yeah, they didn't show the death.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
So you felt the same way as B. You guys had the same takeaway. I'm not.
Look, even some people think at the end of City of the Living Dead that the kid running towards them is actually a zombie and that he turns at the last minute, but they never showed John getting killed or anything. Like that's one theory with that cutaway.
No, I think you've helped me, honestly. I think that does. I'm okay with that. That's what
this one's kind of the most emotional because like. Honestly, like, I was talking to Sam, because I'm in a chat with Sam. I've known Sam for a long time, and he brought this up. He's like, the voiceover for Bob gets less and less annoying the more you watch it, and I totally agree. This time, I actually had, like, no issue with it.
I agree. I could see how it's annoying a little bit still.
I could see, like, the first time you see it,
yes,
you gotta get used to it. Like,
right.
Oh, yeah, it's very off-putting. But, the character, like, Bob's character is actually pretty good. Like, he tries. He's
not a bad actor either. The kid, like I said earlier, with the shit that he's got to go through, and he's screaming, seeing decapitated heads, and
that kill is awesome with the knife on both sides, cutting his head
mom
off.
being dragged down the fucking steps. That's scary stuff too. Like there's some good stuff here, as we've said. I mean, I don't think.
But the father when he stabs Freudstein, and then he just stands there. As Freudstein rips his throat out, it's almost like he went like this, like, here, rip my throat out, please. Like, come on.
I find that again, there's all these heroic moments that they end up getting. Like, I wasn't necessarily. You wouldn't expect that the parents get killed. You wouldn't expect that. You kind of feel okay, they're going to get out as a family or whatever. But nope. Oh, and throat ripped out.
It's almost like I can't tell about Mrs. Freudstein. She's not good, but she's almost like not bad. She's taking May and Bob.
It's
almost like Freudstein. She's like subservient to Dr. Freudstein. It's like they won't stand up to him. Like now that you're a Freudstein, you have to behave like a Freudstein because we're gonna have many more guests. It's almost as if they have to continue to like obey him and bring victims to the house to
right.
To feed Freudstein. The only thing I didn't like about Freudstein, I did not like the look of him. Like you see these glowing eyes, you see the glowing eyes in the basement throughout, which is cool.
Cheesy.
It's frightening.
No,
the
that
eyes
was
are going
cheesy.
everywhere. But then when you see his face at the end, he has no eyes. It's just like it just looks like a plastic face. And when they stab him,
that's
the grossest thing. With the shit melting intestines and the worms coming out of him. I'm saying to myself, if this guy is immortal and he's killing all these victims to replenish his blood cells and all that.
It's not working.
Exactly. That's why he almost should have been. He should have been more human-like.
I know.
It should have been working.
It should have been like Skinless Frank.
Yeah. That's that's my biggest issue with this one is the look of Freudstein, because they even show when he's grabbing people, he's got one hand that's a little mangled, and then one hand is a normal hand. But then when you see him, he looks like a fucking knockoff Frankenstein.
Not even Frankenstein. He looks like a human anteater or something. Like it's a really weird. Like he's all he's like really fucking fucked up.
What is he all? He's all what?
Wow.
Blau?
Blau.
Blau. Oh,
he is good at Belial.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one thing with this one, and with even in the Beyond, with some of the makeup they did on like the zombies on the head, it looked very patchy, and I didn't like that. I like the gore effects and stuff, but I didn't like some of like the, I don't know if they're using latex or whatever. It looked too patched on there.
Okay, 2 quick questions about the. I don't. Well, okay, this doesn't mean. Did you? That doesn't mean anything. He says, well, I have too many. We're running out of time, so hold on. How come they said they don't know what the official records don't mean a thing? You go to a fucking cemetery to get there. That's the only place that they would mean a thing. They absolutely have to mean a thing. They're the official fucking cemetery records. And the guy tells them, official records don't mean a thing. It's just rumors. Why would rumors be printed in a fucking fucking cemetery's fucking plots? It's ridiculous. They should not have put that scene in there. It should have been. And then all of a sudden, somehow, in the midst of him leaving that cemetery and coming back to the house, he figures out everything about Freudstein. It doesn't make any sense. He comes back and says, we gotta get out of this house. Bob's behind the door. As soon as we get him out, we gotta leave. Why?
He heard the tape. He heard that tape. Remember, he listened to the tape at the library before he even went to New York to see the grave. He was at the library. The grave?
If that was enough to sell him, why not go and get your family the fuck out?
I agree. He listened to the tape, and then he leaves, and the wife sees him and is like, Norman? And then he drives to New York, which is 200 miles away. So he's driving for like probably 6 hours. Once you heard that tape, you're right. He should have gone home. It shouldn't have even been. They should have. You're right. That scene really doesn't belong.
No, I don't get it. I don't get it. And I think you might be right about the Anne thing. And the Anne kill, to me, it was surprising and great. Because I thought she was in on it. I thought she was one of the people that were, you know what I mean? She was part of the fucking evil going on. So when she got killed, I was like, wow, that's cool. And it was a great kill anyway. So I wanted to say that. And they do touch upon that thing. There may be a bit of an affair because their eyes meet in that one scene.
Their eyes meet, yet every time Lucy talks to her, she looks away. She can't look at her and doesn't talk to her, obviously.
That's why I thought she was a ghost. But
yeah.
It's a little bit convoluted still. You've helped me out a little bit. I still think the other two are a little more straightforward. That's all I'll say about it. The kills are great. I love the kills, and the story's fine, you know? So, you know. What else can I say? I don't have anything else I could say. I think that you shouldn't have come, Bob. I love that line. You shouldn't have come, Bob.
Did she turn German at one point?
She's supposed to be German.
Is she German?
Freudstein. Freud.
Oh, that's right. That's right. It turns out that she's actually the daughter of Freudstein.
Something. Yeah, because the Grovius.
Freudstein. I'm getting this joke in one way or the other.
Yeah, you're. I think the mother's. I think Mary Freudstein says you're a Freudstein. Yeah. Okay.
Or something.
No, because it sounds like she's talking without like a heavy accent. Then at one point it gets very German, and then it was off-putting. It was like, Bob, I thought I told you not to come.
Right. Now you sound.
That was a horrible German, by the way.
That wasn't a German accent.
What the fuck is that? I don't know. I was really drunk at the time.
Yeah. Some of the shots in the house are great, though. Like, again, great cinematography. I don't know if I would have picked that house to go screw in at the beginning of the movie. There's more cobwebs around. There's not one place to fuck, but these two people go in
because it's abandoned.
Yeah, a car is abandoned. I got my car outside.
I'm doing something off-putting to show that that's how it felt while watching the movie. It's not like she turned all Hitlerish.
That was your German.
Hitlerish. Yeah, that was my German. Yeah. That was my Angela Merkel.
End of story.
Unbelievable. Do you think the kids had lipstick on? It seemed to me that both children were wearing lipstick in this movie.
Never thought about it once, and I'll probably never think about it again.
Wow. I thought about it yesterday when the one scene when he was, let's say, looking at something and she came up behind him. I'm like, she's wearing lipstick, this little girl. Then look at it and go, fucking Bob's wearing lipstick too. Anyway, I don't know. Somebody get back to me on that one. I'm pretty sure that they applied something on their lips to
make Bob, put that scheiße lipstick on. Yeah.
Rosy red. Freudstein. Yes. Anyway, the fiddle faddle box is funny. For some reason, it keeps showing up in the kitchen. Yeah. Once it's on the table, then later on it's on the counter. I'm like, why do they keep showing this fiddle faddle?
They want to make sure you knew you're in the States. Because
exactly.
Only Americans would eat fucking fiddle faddle.
No, you don't have fiddle faddle in Canada?
I think we do,
How about
but
Crunch and Munch? You got Crunch and Munch?
I think we had Crunch and Munch, yeah.
Same fucking thing. They're still around, I think.
Fiddle faddle? It's one of my favorite.
I'm more of a Crunch and Munch guy.
See, now that's a game to play. That's what I'm saying. I love taking a taste test. If I can find a fiddle faddle and a Crunch and Munch before next time we record, I'm gonna do a taste test of them both and make it. I love doing shit like that.
That'll probably be our last show then.
Yeah, great, great. You do that.
Come on, weigh in. And I know people have. What is it, fiddle faddle or Crunch and Munch? Everybody's got an opinion, I'm sure. Yeah. How we talk about bagged milk and everything else? Why not? But that's the next show. Let's rate this movie. For me, should I go up a little bit because of okay, I'm gonna give B the credit, and a little bit more has been explained. I'll say it's an 8 out of 10. I was at a 7.5. I'll go up to an 8.
8 out of 10 for me.
And it's 8 out of 10 for me as well.
Nice.
These are all highly enjoyable. I'm just trying to think of different things, and again, you can't not, pick apart certain things. I know it's a sign of the times and stuff like that, and no one was giving us, when you were a gore hound back in the day, these were the movies you went to.
Yeah, man.
So,
I didn't see these as a kid. I was too mainstream as a kid. I wish I had discovered these when I was younger.
These would probably be, if I had to say what was that I didn't watch that weren't mainstream, it would be the Argento and the Fulci films. Fulci, are you happy now? Films, those would be the ones.
Fucci?
Dr. Fucci. Isn't that the guy? Dr. Fucci? The COVID guy?
Fauci.
Well, okay, whatever. Dr. Fucci. I'm going to call him that for now. Fucci. Okay, we got to go. Yeah, we got to get out of here. Sorry about it, but we had a late start and an early quitting time today. It's just the way it worked out.
So you had to leave early. Dave had to show up late, and I was here the whole time.
Yeah. He's going to just talk to himself for the next half hour. Anyway.
Next show, we'll make up for it. We'll have a long show. We'll bullshit. We'll have a lot of fun, and it's our anniversary. Or is it? No, it's 150 show. Sorry. Anniversary. I'm fucked up. See. Anyway, that's all. We love you guys.
Love you long time.
Munch.